Hi, my name is Melinda, and I'm letting you know in regards to the lighthouse in Costa Mesa. I am in June 17th of 2018. I had the unfortunate tragedy of coming out of the hospital after losing my husband and twins. From a tragic happening, and ended up homeless because I'd been in the hospital for 3 months, and I had gotten word that I was to um, go to the lighthouse for resources. Automatically, I met Linda Miles and Pastor Ronnie, later meeting Pastor Phil later on that day. Pastor Phil was kind of misogynistic, I guess you would say, with me. He was very like suspicious of me, kind of rude with me, very upright. Like, as a matter of fact, like Pastor Ronnie would try to be cool with me and stuff like that, and say, "Don't worry about him. I'm here." Um, I've been a chef. I'm an integrative nutritionist and 5-star chef, and had been a chef in Fashion Island, which is very famous. Sorry, which is very famous there in Orange County and Newport Beach. And I was a chef at La Pan Cuento Dan for many years, and it was very difficult having to be homeless after working so hard and. Um, so I was grateful to be able to serve in a church and be able to have good food and be of service and kind of stay out of trouble. I don't do drugs, I don't do alcohol. I'm just a hardworking European Russian, and woman. So I was really difficult going through everything that I went through. And next thing I know, they gave me um, the right to cook in the kitchen for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so I did that for a couple weeks. And then on the third week, Friday, they gave me the closet. So I was in charge of the cooking and in the closet. Now Herman was having hell of a time with me because he would cause so many headaches and rifts, and he was just such a mean person and was didn't care. He just has to be controlling and dominating. And Pastor Phil and Ronnie would say, "Oh, you just need to shut up and do what you're told." And like I was doing everything I was told and was a blessing to them, and didn't ask for anything. Just I was just grateful because I was devastated. I'd lost everything. And so when I was at the lighthouse, I was also cooking for the soup kitchen. Someone cares. Excuse me, it's been a long day at work. Saturday night, Saturday night, the third week, I'm in the closet. I have permission to finish up the closet because I was organizing the cleaner clothes, the good clothes, and organizing everything. It basically looked like Neiman Marcus. Pastor Ronnie came back and looked to see how it was, and then David came back, and that's Phil's brother, and he was starting to start drama and everything, accusing me of like sleeping around with all the guys and everything, and I'm like, go look at your computers and look at your cameras because I've been nowhere near the guys, and I make sure I'm in camera so that nothing is said, because it is just ridiculous all the stuff that was going on there. People doing drugs, people leaving, them inviting whores in from the street so that they can get their way with the girls, all kinds of stuff. And I was just not happy about it, but I was like trying to keep my nose out of all the stuff, right? But it was kind of hard when it's in front of your face. And so I just said, I told Ronnie, let me out. There was only one way in the out of the closet, and he blocked the way. Next thing I know, Pastor Phil's coming in, and Ronnie came in the room, got behind me, and Phil and Ronnie were both like filling me up and touching me and Mind you, I don't do touching very well. I am a survivor of sexual abuse, and I didn't appreciate the way they treated me or touched me, and I freaked out and I screamed at the top of my lungs, "Get me out of here! I'm reporting you and call the police." Because they were filling me up in my body and touching my body, and you know, and because I was homeless, I had like sweats, jeans on, and a t-shirt on with the sweater, and Ronnie was feeling my breast, and while they were holding me, while Pastor Phil was holding me, it was not okay at all. So I freaked out. It started about 12 o'clock at night, because by 1 o'clock I was kicked out of there. Excuse me. I was kicked out of there at 1 o'clock in the morning. My friend Mark Henderson, who's known Bible teacher, also let me stay right by on the sidewalk, right by his van. I was very upset about everything that had happened, and then I called Linda Miles and let her know what happened, and she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. We'll figure out something." So she called me in to meet with her that following Monday, and she insisted on having a meeting with them in her office, and it was just a shit. So I'm sorry to cuss, but it was ridiculous. It was just her trying to control. Well, people make mistakes, blah blah blah. And I was just like, this is kind of interesting. Like, you guys got funding, but you don't have housing. And it seems to me like you just need people to bully. And I'm not okay with that. We're homeless. We need real people in our lives. We're not here to be taken advantage of. Um, also, um, Linda and Stacy, the social workers for Orange County, told me, you know what, I really, come in, we'll make sure you get your housing, blah, blah, blah. I go in, I had a job as a chef I had gotten, so I was on the streets with Eureka in Huntington Beach, and it was a good paying job. I had gotten two promotions while I was there, just from, being homeless and still showing up at 5 o'clock in the morning to work, and working all day long and not having a problem working, and and then cooking and just being present. And it was a real trip for me. And to find out that Linda and Stacy had lied about all their services that they were giving, they didn't even report me. And the reason I found this out was 2 Mondays after that, I showed up in Linda Miles. We had an appointment, and so I decided to bring my Mac and call the housing authority just in case they needed any paperwork from me, right, for my work or for me, or while I'm there with Linda. And we called them and find out that they hadn't even submitted my information, and that they weren't housing anybody till the following January of 2019, and that they haven't gotten no funding, and stuff like that. So I was really bummed, and I asked them why they lied to me, and they didn't care. They just said, "Oh, well, we got things to do. Goodbye." And like kicked me out. And I really didn't appreciate that. And I know other people who've been abused there too. And the word on the street is that it's a horrible place to go to. And people don't understand that people are being abused there. And I really like the lighthouse because I got an opportunity to serve where I thought I had purpose again after losing and going through all the tragedy I've been through. But um, if they couldn't have their way with me, I was worthless and on the streets again, and put down. And that's not okay. That's not how men of God are supposed to be acting. And I'm really grateful for Gary and Mark, because they really held on to me and said, "Don't let a few bad apples get in the way of your ministry and your testimony and what God has in store for you," which is a mighty thing. Since then, after the letdown with Linda Miles and everything, I went on my Facebook and I told all my friends, I need you guys to put your money where your mouth is, because I can't do this anymore. I had become incredibly depressed and sad and very hurt. And I truly wanted to be able to get them, but I had no resources because I was homeless. So I asked my friends for help, and someone responded, and I moved out to Ventura, and Gary helped me come out here. And I'm a unique homeless because I was homeless due to a tragic situation, not because of drugs and alcohol. I don't do drugs and alcohol. My job transferred me to Huntington Beach in Santa Barbara. Um, so I moved from Huntington to, Ventura County, and take the train up. And, I'm just grateful to have work and be getting my life back and stuff. But, if people are going to the lighthouse, I strongly suggest them not to. Uh, I know in these end times there's going to be a lot of false prophets. I know that there's going to be a lot of people who don't care about people and use God as a way of a two by four, or use God as a way to manipulate people. And it's really sad when there's mentally ill people and you're using fear of God over them when they don't even realize who the real God is, right? And they would force everybody to hear this crap that they talk about that's not even biblical, before everybody eats. And it's like we were having to hear bad word. So I hope something is done, because it needs to be done with these people. Um, in so many ways. I'm really strong. I've overcome so much in my life and been through so much. So for me to have to sit there and watch what happened to people, there were people that had gone back out using drugs. There were people that had been set up by them. There were people that had been abused by Ronnie and by Phil, being hit, and or they would allow people who were staying there, guys that were staying there, beat up on them, and that's just unacceptable. You know, um, Men of God are not supposed to be gangsters of the street, and doing drugs and stealing people's insurances and lying and manipulating and cheating. So, thank you, Gary, for the opportunity, and thank you for being a good man of God, and for sharing this with your higher ups and letting people know what's up. And if you guys need to reach me, my number is 714-876-8665, or get in touch with Gary. He knows how to reach me also. Okay, thank you and have a blessed day. Okay, bye bye.